our health sector, how our economy, everything that had to do with the welfare, the well-being of citizens were not really attended to. Now, after this lockdown, what are the steps that the government has taken so far, from federal to local government, to begin to fix those things, to begin to fix our health sector? There is no move. We have gone back to our old ways. No lesson. Was budgeted, was supplementary budget sent to the legislature. Nobody. Is that governance? That's not governance. You don't just do things without recourse to the legislature. They don't do it.
All right, okay, Manuel.
You see, I disagree with the two of them. I must say so. Because, yes, we don't have governance. It is at the lowest ebb. I agree. But then that kick and start kind of governance we have nearly was ruined by the pandemic attack. Now, can we say that America doesn't have good governance and the healthcare system in America is as low as Nigeria's? What about Italy? What of Spain? We see the kind of havoc the pandemic wreaked despite all those paraphernalia. Yet, in our own, like I said, we were on the favorable side because the kind of ferocity with which it attacked those people, it didn't even visit us with. Now, this kick and start type of governance we had nearly suffered because of the COVID attack. So, what is it that Fayemi said that is not true?
Did they say it stalled development and governance? So I guess for those who are saying
the little development,
the little was not even there in the first place. So nothing was stalled. Nothing was halted. You didn't have it in the first place.
Oh my God, I can't believe so.
You didn't have it in the first place.
At all.
Nothing.
Oh,
what did you hold?
We are not talking about.
Let's move on. Presidency expresses regret over botched meeting with South leaders. We have that in this day newspaper. Presidency expresses regret over botched meeting with South leaders. All right, because of time, I won't be able to read through that. But I mean, yesterday we spoke about this.
Yeah.
And Garbashi, who put out something yesterday too, where he said we express our regrets over being unable to attend this, but it was because of the emergency security meeting that was called by the president, and everybody was already ready to get to Port Harcourt until they got that last call, and they had to revert to the meeting point with the president. And also said the president is very interested in what the...
For me, truly, I think the explanations of what's his name? The presidency should assuage as
Garbashi, who of course has put up
South leaders. Yes. Why I'm saying so is that they've expressed regret. They've shown remorse over their absence. You don't expect them to come out maybe on air to start reading apology. More or less, what they have explained is the apology, but it doesn't end there because monies were put into the organization of that meeting. And they say perhaps when they will be doing consultation as they promised, they will talk about how to defray such costs. If they do so, then they would have done everything and they let the meeting continue holding. But then, if they don't talk about whatever was spent into organizing that meeting, that apology is not accepted.
Got your thoughts on that? Well, we'll take a break here. When we return, I'll be hearing the position of Elijah Nasser and Obidima on this. Before then, thank you very much.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
55 minutes gone past 8. You're listening to Today 95.1 FM. We've got Dina from Odibola Properties. Dina, good morning. Good to have you.
Good morning, Annie.
All right. So tell us what brings you here today.
As usual, we want to talk about real estate investment. And most times we've been talking about trying to enlighten people about real estate. But today we just try to wrap it up with the need of investing in real estate. Everybody knows that need already. Everybody knows that you have to have financial security. Everybody knows you have to plan for your future, your children. It out for you want to build immediately. That's fine. If you want to leave it because you want to resell later or do whatever you want to do on the land later, that's also very fine. It's a very lovely piece to own now. It's a very lovely piece to own. It's going for 3.5 million naira. We also have for now.
Come now.
Yes, okay. Exactly. But we also have the one immediately after the International Airport wing and the Quiet Heavenly office. Still land, they're this, they're that. All our very table, we've conducted our due diligence. They are very good for buying. If you want, you have your deed of conveyance with it, that the registered survey plan with it. All you need to do is just come for inspection, and you can come with anybody for inspection too. You can come with your wife, you can come with your friend, your brother, anyone you want to come with for inspection. You can join us for inspection. Our inspection days are Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays by 10 a.m. We leave from our office located at Inserim layout of Tumbia Extension in Jairi Fish Tree, very close to Mandela Car Wash, also very close to Liverpool Hotel.
So when are inspection days?
I just shouted Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays by
time?
10 a.m.
Where do we gather?
In same layout of Tumbia Extension.
What must we come with?
Come with your ATM. We have periods in the office.
We're coming to pay for land right away.
After inspection, people pay now.
Lucky Deep.
Oh, Lucky Deep. And our Black Friday, we've been announcing the Black Friday too is on. We have a lot of discounts on some of our properties. Check our website. Come to our office.
How do we go about the Black Friday? We have to go to the website?
No. You can call anybody. You can also check the website too. Everything.
And tell them you want to be part of the Black Friday sale.
Yes, and there's a process that you just have to go through. And you can reach us on 0704 237 7837 0704 237 7837. You don't want to miss out on this Lucky Dip. You don't want to miss out on the Black Friday. All these stuff.
You don't want to miss out on the land. You don't want to miss out on the Lucky Dip. You don't want to miss out on the Black Friday. You don't want to miss out on the consultations. You don't want to miss out on checking out the land.
Annie,
you just don't want to miss out on calling which numbers?
0704 237 7837. Don't miss out, seriously.
Thank you so much, Dana, for coming.
All right.
And this is where we wrap up on that segment. The news update comes up next.
Every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
95.1 FM. Board Hardcore. News update.
Hello and good morning. Here's the news update on Today 95.1 FM. The presidency has expressed regrets over the absence of its representatives from a meeting of South-South stakeholders scheduled for yesterday in Port Harcourt, River State, while attributing the development to an emergency meeting of the National Security Council held at the presidential villa. On the same day, it said a new date for the meeting will be fixed after due consultations. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, disclosed this in a statement. Governors and leaders of the South-South region had demanded an unreserved apology from the presidency for abruptly aborting the meeting. But Shehu explained that members of the presidency's delegation to the meeting were set to proceed to Port Harcourt for the meeting until they were directed to stay back and attend an emergency security meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari. The Federal High Court in Abuja has ordered the arrest of the former chairman of the defunct pension reform tax team, Abdurrashid Maina, adjudged to have jumped bail over his 2 billion naira money laundering trial. Justice Okon Abang gave the order in a ruling in which he also revoked the bail earlier granted the fleeing defendant. He ordered all security agencies in the country to arrest Maina wherever he may be found and produce him in court without delay. The judge also ordered that the defendant's trial will proceed in his absence pending when the defendant will be produced in court. Justice Okon Abang also fixed November 23rd for Maina's surety, Senator Ali Ndume, to appear in court to show cause why he should not be remanded in prison and forfeit his 500 million naira bail bond pending when he will be able to produce the defendant. Governor Nyesom Wike says he has no regret prescribing the outlawed indigenous peoples of Biafra IPOB in River State due to his belief in the unity of Nigeria. Governor Wike said Nigerians must at all times rise to protect and defend the interests of the country and not allow parochial sentimental politics to destroy the country. Governor sticks army officers, police officers permitting the grounded Boeing 737 MAX to fly again. Dixon said he was 100% confident in the safety of the aircraft, which was banned from flying after 2 crashes in Indonesia and Ethiopia, which killed 346 people. The FAA's decision means the aircraft will return to the skies by the end of the year. It is calling for extra news update on Today 95.1 FM. Do not forget, take responsibility, use alcohol hand sanitizer while out and about. Avoid touching high contact surfaces and your face to prevent coronavirus. I am Annie Abdul Salam. Have a great morning.
Radio has never been this good. Today, 90.
Expected to crash the market
There's
in
a
the
cassava
next.
variety that takes 7 months.
Do
they know it or they don't?
What's the beginning? I guess
Because you can see they are involved.
they are involved. True.
So how can you solve it? What will stop it? They're involved. Look at 1.20 billion special allowance, 1.2 billion special allowance, padding of budget, 4 billion, this billion, 400 billion. How can they stop
Hello.
it?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. What's your name?
Yeah, this is Mr. Zion. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
All right, Zion. Go ahead.
I think I totally disagree with the emir.
Today's Quests with Annie.
You and Your Health is brought to you by Doctors Save a Life Foundation. You and Your Health with Dr. Richard Okoye.
Hello, nice to have you today in this special edition of You and Your Health, a program sponsored by Doctors Save a Life Foundation. I remain your friend, Dr. Richard Okoye, and we have a society. Don't forget that when you are talking about Ebola, talking about Lassa fever, talking about coronavirus, majority of these things we are talking about centers on the way we use our hands vis-a-vis in relationship to others, in relationship to our mouth, our nose, and other areas. So very important that I want to declare and I want to state, we do not need to wait for Ebola. We don't need to wait for coronavirus. We don't need all those things for us to maintain what is healthy habits. Wash your hands regularly. That is the most important thing. Since our traditionals apart from Ebola, corona fever, and coronavirus and all the rest, definitely you will have a lot to enjoy when it has to do with quality health, with your hand being clean. Okay, we have a series we are running right now that has to do with causes of sudden Jesus to you, that by his own power or by the power in the name of Jesus, the thing will go. If it does not go, something is happening. Let him shut up his or her mouth and call no. But above all, we are not undermining the power and the ability of God to answer where the effort of man stops, because he said, I'm the God of all flesh. Nothing is impossible for me to do. However, we should always start from the known. Go to the hospital and get properly evaluated. If the facility you are using does not have enough to check you very well, seek for a higher financial power, you attend to it. If it is not, then you can say, oh, my own people are destroyed. It may be going down because what you think is not what is happening to you. My people are destroyed for lack of what is happening to you. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, lack of attention to them. What do you think? People will be dancing and dance, people will sleep, they won't wake up, so many things. How long can we hold this devil responsible for all the things happening to us? And in the hunger we kill more people. Like as he protected body, no, now so you go waka go the other side. So it's very important that you protect yourself in this time around, okay? So that is very fundamental. And today we want to go a little further because we say we have we must not wait for Ebola, coronavirus to maintain a healthy habit. Watch your hand.
Richard Okoye.
Welcome back. We are still on You and Your Health, and today we are talking about the subject of causes of what? Sudden death. Sudden people drop, come on the ground. And so we have a number of them so that it will not be just witches and demons and satanic man that had Iwatin village and all of a sudden. Look at the whole scenario. The man has passed. He had terrible hemorrhagic stroke. And incidentally, the man was no more. I heard the church members praising the devil from that village, the witches, they just fired the man and the man went. Whereas was a known hypertensive. And when you have a certain kind of feeling or sudden slump, sudden weakness, sudden kind of blackout, sudden double vision, hey, sit where you are and call for help.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
You don't wake up one day and say, okay, this policy is working, and then you expect it to crash them again.
Because you can see the
Insecurity has become a common factor in our general language within the Nigerian space, no doubt. Not only has it become a threat, it has taken diverse dimensions.
God, hey, Jesus. Straight bullet, oh, what kind of country is this? Hey boy, I just said to go and buy something. What kind of thing is straight bullet from where? I'm finished though.
Directly or indirectly, we all have lost people, friends, family, or acquaintance. Every individual in the society has a role to play in order to achieve a secure society. We urge citizens and
95.1 FM from 6 to 11 a.m. weekdays. Fantastic.
Welcome back. 24 leaders I heard from Emmanuel Ndukwe earlier on. Let me get to Alhaji Nasser Oladowo.
Yeah, thank you. Well, looking at it the other way around, I confess myself, Edison had to go to the airport to welcome this and all that. Everybody was okay. Meanwhile, it is even possible that the government has attended to other matters, but they'll use that of security and other engagement, and we take it like that. So if at the end of the day, the follow-up meeting appears botched or dodged by the presidency, then you can now come up and say no. So in the first instance, we got angry and you say, no. What can you say about this second aspect? So as far as I'm concerned,
you're okay with this?
Let's just move along.
All right. Okay, we'll move along to Dr. Obidima now.
And as I said, the old entire Niger that, when they are doing certain things, excuse me,
Question.
Excuse me, ma. Let me come.
No, before you go forward, does the president have the right to delegate anyone to do something for him?
Excuse me. Constitutionally,
yes or no, this has nothing to do with the constitution.
No, constitutionally, there are certain things he can delegate. There are certain
Which
things
ones?
he should not delegate to chief of staff. Who have no constitutional responsibility.
That's what regret stands for. If used in such an explanation. So for me, it's enough. But like I said, organization of people gathering together is not just something that could happen without spending money. The money that was spent that day have been in vain. So defray the cost. As you said, you will do consultation.
Thereafter, insidiously growing to become the most ubiquitous challenge facing a vast majority of Nigerians today. To make matters worse, and the crash in the price of crude oil. At this state, it seems there is no light at the end of the tunnel. A newsroom seemed to catch a break from an unemployed. The Nigerian Bureau of Statistics reported that 86.9 million Nigerians lived in extreme poverty. However, prior to 1965, and indeed prior to the coming of Europeans, poverty was unknown in Africa. The fact that there was no poverty and there were no beggars was confirmed with compelling. I have traveled across the length and breadth of Africa, and I have not seen one person who is a beggar, who is a thief. Such wealth I have seen in this country, such high moral values, people of such caliber, and I do not think, which is her spiritual and cultural own, they will lose their self-esteem, their native culture, and they will become what we want them, a truly dominated nation, end of quote. Begging by the poor is everywhere. Beggars besiege and embarrass people at weddings, birthday parties, naming ceremonies, funeral ceremonies, coronation, chieftaincy installation, petrol stations, and on the highway. Nigeria is a country endowed with more enormous human and natural resources and material resources, than most of the developed countries of the world, that has per capita income of $300,000. and above, and also life expectancy of 70 years. Per capita income in Nigeria is only about $300, while life expectancy is 52 years. About 70% of Nigerians live in abject poverty with less than 500 naira per capita. This large population, plenty of natural resources such as oil, the high rate of poverty is disturbing. Poverty in Nigeria is getting worse by the day. Why is this? Are the poor people to blame for their predicament? Have they been lazy? Have they made poor decisions? Have they been responsible for their own plight? Is their poverty due to lack of capital or funds to start a good business? This is an individual corporation system which was not designed to turn out entrepreneurs and industrialists. In order to fully appreciate the extent of poverty in the country, it is necessary to first examine what life in Nigeria was in its pre-independence days. In the 50s and 60s, the economy, although subsistence farming was stable, there were only two classes of people, namely flour, cement, corn, wheat, and other basic essential commodities. Other factors which inflicted housing include failure to provide poor education services, of all competitive low wages, and the collapse of the middle class. It also sounded the worsening of the economy and increase in poverty level is, therefore, cumulative, and all previous governments are to blame for the present level of poverty in the land. Effects of poverty. The first noticeable effect of poverty is inequality. The poorest people will always have less access to health, quality education, and other services. Hunger, malnutrition, and diseases have more effect on the poorest in society. They are in silence. The gap between the rich and the poor is dangerously widening. Soon, we may produce the richest man on the planet and also the largest number of the poorest people. All right, that's written by Ari. I was, hoping that we'll move on to a solution. This came about and where we are at the moment. But I think I can't remember whether it was on Tuesday or so when I mentioned, when you were looking at all the other indices, inflation. We're looking at the call for government to engage heavily in agriculture because of the food crisis that was coming on. I think it was on a Tuesday we had that conversation. And I did mention, and of course one of the guests here mentioned that, the projection towards 2021 for him was that terrible that, he was apprehensive what we'll be experiencing here in Nigeria if, we carry on in the manner we are into 2021 with the projections we have from all financial institutions and even the National Bureau of Statistics. And of course, the actions from government itself didn't seem to bring any wind of fortune our way. We might just be groveling at the feet of each other in 2021. I want to say at this point here now that I feel that the government is overwhelmed. There's so many issues attendant for the government, and it doesn't seem to understand how to tackle any of them or how to have any headway. I'm particularly going to look at the issue of poverty. And this administration has said several times that the action that was smart, wearable, so that we can say, that we saw drastically. Different governments who did not intervene drastically to stop this tide of poverty. And now we are the poverty capital of the world.
The culture of Africans.
Yeah.
And the
Europeans.
Yes, that it will be better for them. For instance, he mentioned that the per capita income of Nigeria, the per capita income of some European countries are their per capita income is either $300. But in Nigeria, he mentioned something abysmal. And then the Europeans, he mentioned either 70 years as their their
per capita income was 300,000.
Good.
While that of Nigeria, Nigeria was 300.
Life expectancy
was
70 for them, and then of our own 52.
52, sorry.
Yeah. So the whole thing I'm finding out, according to the narrative of Afe Babalola, is that it is successive governments, the managers of the economy, that have bastardized everything that would have made us skip this poverty capital stage. Because according to him, he said, we have the penchant for foreign things and we are no longer recognizing our own. Meanwhile, in time past, that we were hardworking people who made do with white or the white man to be even made, we would have been importing almost everything in this country. However, even the government that has made this little effort, Babalola is attacking them for sharing in bringing us to where we are. Because no government, for instance, take a critical look at Ibrahim Babangida's regime that brought a SAP. The SAP truly, I must tell you, once that thing started, we eroded every value we have it brought. And after that SAP, from then till now, Nigeria has not recovered. And I doubt if we are going to recover despite this Babalola's piece. I doubt because government seem not to be interested.
They don't have they don't have a clue what to do.
No, they don't seem to be interested because see, when you promise either 100 million Nigerians to get them out of poverty, what are the measures? What is just a pronouncement? And then you come up with intervention, social intervention, what do they call this thing? Measures that will give somebody 20,000. They'll give what is 20,000 going to do in a bastardized economy? And do you ever think that with all this, even if you roll out such intervention measures everywhere, that 20,000 will now, is it what will lift Nigerians from poverty? Meanwhile, the economy itself is abysmal.
You know, the 20,000, for me, what I'm thinking is that when you take the 20,000 and you're giving the poorest of the poor,
yes.
Where's that money coming from? How long can you sustain that to the point where you can change the lives of these people? Because it's not 20,000 that you give them in 6 months that's going to change their lives. So you must be able to sustain that. Because I mean, when you look at the social welfare systems in advanced countries, it's certain taxes that they take from the very rich people that affords them to be able to hold on to that. So if you don't have anywhere where the special money is coming to fund this group of people, you're just doing an interventionist program, and that will last what, a year?
About it's also some months. Some of them some months.
If it's there for some, it's some months. But if this is what a year at most is what, then what happens to them? They fall back
after
to
the 1 year. You see, that's why I said it's like maybe planlessness or whatever. Governments over the years are not interested in truly lifting out the populace from poverty. And why wouldn't we take over people to leave the poverty circle? There is nothing. And like Babalila talk, we have enormous resources. And this
emergence. Before his emergence. Oh wait, hold on. Before there was only one person in entire Ghana who perhaps will be selling grains. If you wanted grains in Ghana, you have else who was supplying grains anywhere. So if you wanted grains, you have to be that place. And of course, so that means the person can tell you, I'm selling my grains at 800 when maybe grain was 100. You have to deal with it. And then they didn't have anything. They couldn't get baking soaps. They couldn't get paste. It was that terrible, and it was due to corruption. And this is what Jerry Rawlings said was part of the reasons why he felt he needed to come on board. The different times, beg your pardon. One began to see
Fantastic.
Opinion poll on today's quest.
More than 3 over 4 of the loots we are talking about in this country today were loots within the 16 years.
Here is a great opportunity to sample all our opinions on the issues raised.
Amin Patakat says the PDP is trying to divert our attention because Nigerian funds was looted by the people. Melody in Uniport says Madam Jonah is yet to come in terms of the fact that her tenure has expired. Annie, please tell him that investigation is not what you make public until the final stage.
Send your opinion to us on Facebook,
www.facebook.com/Today95.1 FM.
or on Twitter @TodayFM951. You can also sample your opinions with us on WhatsApp or on our SMS portal using the numbers 070-1933-9962.
Alhaji Nasser Owelebe Owo now for his position on this matter.
Thank you. The problem is overwhelming. It's a heavy, but you see, very heavy problems or very heavy situations. At the end of the day, they have very simple solutions. Now, the problem is poverty, fueled by corruption, leadership, and governance. Because it is not for everybody to govern at the same time. That's why we surrendered how did they say, is it a sovereignty or something? To selected group of people to manage our affairs on our behalf. That is where we start from. those who manage our affairs have failed over the decades to manage the affairs for our own benefit. That's the problem. You see, all along, we have been churning out. It's about time we make a U-turn and then focus on regenerative policies. Policies that regenerate. All we are doing now is just consumption, vegetating like this thing, but we are not regenerating. We consume, we don't produce excess. See, in the heat of the apartheid, and the Nigerian government say, look, you must stop your people doing business with apartheid South Africa and boosting their economic stay. The chancellor looked at it and said, yes, that sounds very nice. But back home in my country, 7 out of every German is producing one thing or the other. Now, if I lock down our trade ties with South Africa, which is a major trading partner with us, where will those 7 of my people sell their goods and make money and survive? You can see, apartheid is bad, they know. But the people must survive. His own people must survive. So we must go back to policies that regenerate, not just consuming. How do you do that? It has been mentioned several times that before the oil came on stream, we had no problem. Like after Babala mentioned, everything was there. We were producing a lot. We were happy. There's food everywhere. We were moving at our own space. We had 5-year and 10-year development plans initially. These things are being looked into and tailored. We had industries coming up, all kinds of economic infrastructure. We mentioned it, the railways, the airlines, the sea lines, and all the rest of them. They're springing up. And these things were generating economic activities you can key into. People can key into. I do remember that the oil mill established by the Eastern Nigerian government in my place, the oil mill at Ahoda. We in the school, when we need 1 penny, we don't go ask our parents. We rush to the oil mill to go and pick kernels. We pick kernel. If you pick kernel and get a certain quantity, you get 1 penny. By the time you leave there that day, you may be 3 pence richer, and which was a lot of money. So you save this money, and at the end of the day, you buy what you want to buy. So there are people, children in secondary school and all, work they say is wealth. We must work, and before we work, the government must come up with economic policies that make that will come up with a conducive environment that will enable the people to work, and not the people asking. They will now work and get this. If we did that, we will be getting out of this thing in the shortest possible time. It is not as if the money is not there. Look at the money being hoarded by a few individuals. The money is there. The resources are there. How do you harmonize this? The missing thing is leadership with the will to come up with regenerative policies. Let's take an example. I keep mentioning this example because it's relevant. In 1980, we were facing similar problems. Food shortage, everything, all the essential commodities were being hoarded in warehouses and all that, until incidentally it was the same Buhari now say, how can you use government money to import NSS, a Nigerian National Supply Company also? You import with government money, you go and hoard them. Bust the warehouses, and that was done. Every prices of goods came down, but it didn't end there. The governor of this state at that time, School to Land program, and this was meant for youths in the secondary schools. They even built this thing for them to live in their farms. They got farm managers set up, and they were giving implements. Within 1 year, the state turned out so much agri-produce from SS maize. Everything was in SS maize, cassava, everything. They even set up a pilot cassava plant at Iriebe. that was supplying Gary to the ministry to come up with correct policies. It's not that the policies have not been suggested. In all the seminars or workshops, everything, how to get out of this poverty level, they are there wrote in the shelves. Who will implement them? In a state like this, in this kind of situation, and you come up with palliatives, it doesn't gel. Has been able to tell us what one national.
How do we?
The solution, like I said,
yes.
let the leaders sit down, map out policies that will open up, create a conducive environment. And then when we're talking about development, you make the mistake of always focusing on federal. For heaven's sake, the federal did not say any state should go to sleep. When we talk about them, if federal government say I'll lift 100 million people out of poverty, what are the states? What is
are they lifting?
What are they waiting for?
They're lifting weights.
They should tell us how many people they want to lift. If they can, you don't wait for federal government to come and lift. You do your own because you receive statutory allocation. Here in the Niger Delta or the South, the Debt Management Office sometime ago released figures that shows that the Niger Delta states receive more allocation than every other part of the country. By the same token, also they owe the highest debt. And how do you manage this together? And then look at the poverty level in the Niger Delta. Look at the employment level in the Niger Delta. How do you marry that huge allocation, huge debt burden, nothing in between?
All right. Okay.
So it's not correct.
All right, got your thoughts on that. Dr.
Reduce poverty. The only way is to go back to 1966. Assume that is where we ended. 1963 Constitution. It ended in 1966. Bring the best leader in the world. Bring
Donald Trump.
No. The Singapore.
I'm surprised you said no.
No.
Okay.
I'm talking. Listen.
He's not the best leader.
Yeah.
Lee Kuan Yew.
Bring Lee Kuan Yew to Nigeria. We still have the same issue. When once in any nation that has the kind of centralized system we have in this country can move forward, everything is centralized. Security centralized, economy centralized, politics centralized. Every area of our life central get down, But development should be bottom up. If we don't develop policy that will drive our development bottom up, we are going to be nowhere. Poverty will continue to increase. We will continue to lament. And what does it mean? It means that we should people should lose their hand from what they are holding in this nation. The Muslim North should lose their hands. The Christian South should lose their hands. A system between 1960 and 1966. The result was that the per capita income was very high. Life expectancy was very high. Now that project was truncated. The ministry came in. And the people who even fought against the system of unitarianism now has a kind of embraced it to the detriment of the rest of the country because it's benefiting them. Look at the Constitution. I've said it over and over again on this platform that Constitution is one of our problems. And thank God that 3 days ago, a senior advocate of Nigeria, Olani Poko, said we don't need amendment of the Constitution. We need a total change of the Constitution. The Constitution that gives everything, economic resources, political power, security power, to the center. What kind of Constitution is that?
Nigerian Constitution.
And no govern them. Where you have over 66 items in the exclusive legislative list and the remaining 30-something or 20-something in concurrent, where the state and the federal drag over it. Now, in doing that, in 1969, we had this Mineral Act, 1969. That what central bank is also trying to buy the gold from them is not true.
What you are saying is not true. That they've turned out the policy that Zamfara should mine. Zamfara said they bought the gold from the people who were mining. That's what Zamfara said.
No. Who people mining? Mining from who? Then why must they not buy crude oil from us? Yes.
You have miners.
Why must they not allow the Niger Delta District to buy the crude oil?
I agree with you, which is why there's a huge push to have modular refinement. That is wrong.
The point whether
don't change the weather. What was wrong?
We don't know who is mining
I just told you who
and they show that not just the constitution is going to be recrafted, there should be also states, units must come on with constitution as agreed by the people within that federating units how to govern and remove powers from the governors also to the people. Remove certain things from the governors. Make governors the way we should look deeply and reconstruct the way we do things. When we reconstruct this thing, it will really somehow positively impact and affect every other thing that concerns us. Unfortunately, there have been that kind of do I call it tug war? Tug war, and who will fall first? And who will fall the other way, who will fall that way. And we are stagnated. Look at Nigeria, the capital poverty of the world.
Poverty capital of the world.
Right. And there is no even policy of citizen mobilization to drive development.
Okay, Dr. Bidima, we got your thoughts on that. I think that I largely agree with some of the things Dr. Bidima has shared. Some of the things I will agree with. There must be decisive action by the government. There is a need, like I said earlier on when I talked about uprooting the barber tree, you must pull it out with the systems that it has already encaved in itself. And I think that the system we operate here is part of the reasons why poverty is continuing to explode exponentially. If we don't do anything about the system we have here running, I don't think we'll be able to do great. The one before that also felt, I'm doing something concerning the very poor people. But we keep seeing our numbers rising to the point where we're now the capital of the poor, of poverty. I think that it's foolhardy to think there's even 1 million Nigerians who are in the cats when it comes to this matter. It just seems as if they're running around and touching it, skirmishing over the real issue where they should have their hands deep in the pie. Well, that's it. We'd like to get your thoughts on this particular, and perhaps you also would prefer a solution. What can we do to check? Honestly, I know it's like, I think it is. We have too much people chasing. Yes, we say, we are endowed with so much. Realize, no, we don't really have it. Somebody was trying little compared to the amount of money the Emirates and not Saudi Arabia or in the Gulf region where their population is very little. We need to do something to manage ours here. I think there must be a decisive push. Let's see how we can, even if they've taken it off now since they've been able to manage their population at some point. I think it's something that we need to do too. We can't 100 million in another quarter.
That really was there when in all facets of our national life. The governor is the one that we must know who.
You think he's the one paying?
Is this his money?
He's the one paying. So
it's not his money.
If you can't afford to pay you,
how
do you go about hiring?
It's our money.
Who will pay now?
That's why I'm saying.
There's an embargo on employment.
That's why I'm saying that.
They can't afford to pay.
That is why I'm saying that power should be removed. That time, these people who are heading the states or provinces doesn't have that kind of power. Even tender board, they don't have the power to influence who gets contract, who does not get contract.
Well,
but this is as a kind of collapse. They affect our development.
The area you mentioned, very, very pertinent. Population. Do you know we haven't even...
What does it make?
Suppose I don't have.
Supposing he doesn't have 4 wives.
No.
Suppose he doesn't have 4 wives.
No, but we know that they have.
Not all of them do.
Is it my fault?
Just the same way we know that you have 1 wife and you have 15 children outside.
Are you effectively practicing family planning? Are you?
At my age,
family planning has come naturally.
It has come natural to you. Family planning and child spacing and all those things.
And the one reviving it.
No. Andy is right in reviving it.
I'm not finding anything.
Along with how much have we budgeted? We even think about budgeting for family planning. We don't think it is important.
We don't. This is
we don't think this
and
is
as a government, I would John, and the name Nigeria comes within that bracket.
Yes.
You would think it's something that they have sat down, the managers of Nigeria last time, and said, we need to do something to halt that. We don't have enough amenities on ground now to even take care of the ones we have. And then we're on an explosion spiral. So we need to check that trial.
Exactly.
What family planning did America put? Look, years back, excuse me, when Nigeria was about, I think 60 million population or so, 60, 80 million. I think America was 200 and something million. But recently, America is 300 million. Nigeria is moving to 200 and something million. Who did America adopt family planning to still manage their population?
Yes. Family planning.
No. We are telling that. Did they peg it that you must not bear more than this?
No. That is why he's even went with the way family planning.
So it depends on individuals.
No. Family planning is not about stopping you from having children. It's about
education. Educating you.
I have 4 children. And I had them 5 years interval.
Okay.
So that is an individual distance.
That's what we're saying. If you have other people learn why they need to do that, isn't that a better nation for all of us?
You are too desperate.
It should also sensitize their consistency.
That is.
Have you sensitized your board? Have you sensitized your own?
Family planning should be
have you sensitized your own?
Why are you so distinct? I thought that I had you know. Why are you so distinct that you believe?
Government, and then the people should sensitize the people. When it comes to explode, we won't be laughing.
We won't be laughing indeed.
What budgetary provisions do we have from federal to the state to local government? It's like nobody even talks about local government. They can have a good effect. So life planning and family planning should go alongside with other economic measures.
When I see them talk about, family planning in this manner or anything at all that's got to do with, but they do it whimsically, like it's not on the sideline ahead. So and for me it is something that should be in front, aggressively pursued.
It should have a place in the budget. It should have a place in the budget.
Like Obitima mentioned, when last did we even do a head count? So, what are we talking about? We don't have the data. So we don't even know. We keep speculating.
If you ask, everybody will tell you 200. What kind of country is this? What is holding census?
Politics is holding census. Because one place we want to have more numbers.
Yes, no.
Politics is what is holding census.
It's politics now.
Nothing else.
To manipulate the election.
That's why you keep saying, when you look at Nigeria, you're looking for, where is the break? Where will you hold this snake, and say, I'm starting from here? It's in a circle.
That's why the leadership, these are the problems.
How do you fix politics then? You want to get the right people in place. You can't even seem to access the right people because you don't have the right data to get the right. So it is just, we're a bundle. We're a bundle of problems. And if you can just get a string anywhere that at all that looks like head, hold it and try to see if you can walk your way through.
I agree with that. Like family and life planning, we should do something about it. It's very urgent. Very, very urgent. There should be budgetary allocations across the board from federal to local government.
And in as much as I think that people who can have 4 wives should go ahead and have their 4 wives because of their religion, and then in that manner check their pockets as they have their kids. I think there is a need to sensitize a lot of the people who practice that religion and go ahead and have so many children that they can't cater for. There's one, and he's actually, I think he's in a House of Reps. Who says he can't even remember the name of his kids?
House of Reps.
I don't know how that. I don't know how that is supposed to be. Yes. How is that supposed to be pleasing? How is that so? Because yes, I have the money. I send you to school. But what connection do you have as a father to your child, or to be able to mold them properly? You don't know what they're doing. Yes. It's not just because you have money they can go to school and come back. They will still end up as wayward children. We have seen that happen to parents who are very wealthy and have kids who derailed. Apart from you having money and being able to send your kids to the best schools, there is a need to have that personal relationship with your children. And you can't have that if you're having 18 and 20. How much time will you have to spend chasing the money outside and coming home and spending quality time with your children?
Okay,
I think it's important
Yes.
that they also sell that story to that group of people.
Parenthood is not all about how much you spend
there's one
on
Musa that comes to collect
You always
refugees
say
in my
Musa that
in my compound. One day I engage him in
I'll tell you about the
discussion.
Thomas when you finish about the Musa.
I engage him in a discussion, and I said, "Why do you travel?" He said, "Say he has 2 wives." I said, "Say he has how many children? This one they Medugre, this one they the other place." I said, "Why?" He said, "I'm at school now." I said, "Why?" He said, "You go marry 4." He said, "You go marry 4." He said, "This is the thing we are talking about." At that this thing, what are you doing? Because your religion permits you to marry 4, and they are not doing enough to even educate them on the economic disadvantage of having those.
I agree with you.
4
Yeah,
wives
that's happening.
with many children.
Indeed.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
And when they should do, that's why I say, Alaji, go to your consistency and do some work.
It's not the same way there's a let me tell you about Thomas.
Let me tell you, you are talking about Musa, you don't even know.
Let me tell you
Come to
about
my place there now, and even your place. You see people who young boys who are married with 2 wives.
Let me tell you about the Thomas. There's a Thomas I know.
Once you bring religion
There's
into
no
it,
Thomas,
There's a
you know.
Thomas I know.
Just
like the same way I don't even know any Musa.
There's no Thomas,
And
you know.
just a moment, let me tell him
you
something
bring
about
religion
it.
into it. That's
So
your problem.
there is a Thomas I know.
And can we progress
No,
to
we're
this
not progressing.
discussion?
Thomas is a what do they call this? He's not a mason. The mixture, the cement.
Okay.
What do they call those guys?
Helpers.
Helpers. They're not helpers. They're labor, day workers, right? Like her. That's what he does here. One day I saw him with a younger.
That Thomas. That
That's Thomas.
It's all right.
I saw him with a.
Thank God it's that Thomas, not Thomas.
I saw him. I saw him with a young, very young boy there. So I was asking him what I said. I hope you're not here to. He now said that he's his son, and he's coming here to help him out, and he wasn't feeling too strong, and yet he needed to deliver on that day. So I was like, okay, so where are he doesn't have siblings.
Back to PDP. Even the governor joined the receiving in the secretariat.
Yes, okay.
No,
there's somebody.
To remind him, somebody very prominent.
No, we're not saying that the Chris Crossing is not there. Captain Crossing is not there.
Defeated.
Yes, but we are talking the way what Almighty
he
is
said
saying.
he has now discovered
The
that
statement is quite irritating and annoying.
Are you listening?
PDP had an ideology.
Good. You said APC has no ideology and PDP has.
PDP has, so it's
all of them, no one has ideology.
Thank you very much.
Both APC and PDP, no ideology.
This truth will be my
No ideology.
So what do you make of the person? A high caliber
no ideology. We are educated enough to know what ideology
no,
is.
this was the reason he gave.
So they see the members of the party who are not educated enough to know.
No.
This was his reason.
And need deliverance.
This was the reason he gave. That they should forgive him for his mistakes, forgive him for being ABC, and he's going back home.
Good.
They're always going back
home. I've never seen.
I don't know why they stayed after. He didn't ask him the ideology PDP has.
He was on a radio program. So
the only thing that will get them elected.
The issue is that.
That's why we are talking of this constitution.
The issue is that I don't know. Like you rightly mentioned, I agree. Which of the parties has an ideology? You see, the mistaken slogan for ideology. When you say APC,
I'll do this, I'll do that. That's not ideology.
Is PDP's ideology share the money? What's it?
It's APC distributing money.
No, I'm asking. Why do you always, when I ask PDP, you're always on the offensive.
I don't know when you became a PDP.
No.
And it's an APC woman.
This is a PDP chieftain.
It has nothing to do with this.
She's an APC woman.
No.
Obitima is a PDP
After all,
chieftain.
he has been accused severally. The only thing that I want to accuse is that he's a Labour Party member.
That one is around the corner. They'll soon call him Labour Party member. All right then. We've had your views on these issues. It's 14 minutes after 11. Let's move on to the different platforms we have to get to listen to our listeners. It's our turn to listen now. So numbers to dial to get through to the studio: 0810-9510951 or 0817-000951. And you can send us text messages or WhatsApp messages to 07019339962. So the numbers. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning. Yeah. All right. Go ahead. And congratulations on the Supreme Court's judgment on Diri.
It is well.
I knew you were going to say that.
It is well. It is well.
All right, go ahead.
The next 4 years will flush him out.
Yeah, I know. But what if he impresses you people so much that you want him?
Frankly speaking, this other man, my sister Annie, if you come to the peace of Yenagoa, just carry out your survey, then you understand the reason why people don't want this establishment. It is this fixing that frustrates the state that brought this man, and this man is even worse than the Dixon.
Oh dear.
That's why people don't want him.
All right. Okay. Well, let's go ahead with what we're talking about today.
Concerning Dave, some say David, no problem. You know my stand. For now, I'm not about political party, but about persons. I know that is a performer. That man has worked for his state. But for you to come up, I love what Wiki said. Okay, please don't use the word. Why is this the Volmai matter is so in the air? People are complaining. No, you don't need to blackmail the party. Leave the party and go to your APC. After all, before this time, this man has been uploading with President Buhari. Everybody knows it, but nobody sanctioned you. And now you're coming up to tell PDP that has helped you as a person. This performance that we're talking of, are you giving that performance to APC? Is it not the same PDP you're complaining of? The people of Boeing State, are they not the Southeasterners? When you're complaining that PDP has marginalized your people should, before they talk, they should think first now as leaders. I love that man in terms of the development that is going on there. An APC that is celebrating PDP, worst party, corruption, this, that. That is why this politics, I said, anything political party, and I'm not ready again.
It's okay.
you talk one thing in the morning, in the evening, you change your mind. What is the problem with this people?
It's crazy.
You understand? I asked the question, is there any politician that does not lie?
In terms of that one, I agree with you. I don't want to argue. That lie is all over.
Okay. All right then. Gift, thank you very much. You got your thoughts there. Don't forget that you can send us text messages to 0810-951-0951 or 0817-000951. Those are the numbers for you to dial to get through to us. Let me take a few text messages here and I will return to the phone lines. Okay? This here says, good day. I think I have it right. Good day. No COVID-19 in Nigeria, more or less destroying governance. COVID-19 is only a name given to something that looks real, that paved way for opportunity for some people to make money. Patriotic Nigerian from Obibo. How would you say that? All right, well, let's see if we can move on to the phone lines. I'm just having a little difficulty trying to get through to the phone lines, but I will surely get to it eventually. 0810-951-0951 or 0817-000951. Those are the numbers for you to dial to get through to us here. Wike celebrated Obasaki's defection, Chidi Lloyd's Ephraim Ojiri and others, yet he's crying, oh mahi, oh. Has Wike forgotten Autumn of Benue and 200 million naira? Tambuwal, Atiku, Saraki, Dogara, and others defected. Wike's ambition of vice president is destroying PDP. Obidima, stop crying like the brick house. From Chooks. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
Anna, good morning.
Morning, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, they're calling from Port Harcourt.
Okay, good to have you. Go ahead.
Let me comment about the Vomahe, setting to APC. I want to ask, is there any bad thing that somebody want to leave PDP to APC? Amechi was the governor. He left PDP to APC. He's still alive. What do you call it? Atiku Abubakar also did that. He's the one that even destroyed PDP, and PDP now welcome him with their whole heart. After the truth, Atiku Abubakar deciding to APC is a very big blow to PDP. But all of them are now supporting him. It doesn't mean that the Igbo man do the same. His own is it worse. And your guest mentioned that Igbo people should not follow Omai. And Omai would destroy Igbo people or whatever. my dear brother, Igbo people, nobody can destroy us. We know what we are doing. We are not a political jobbers like other religions. We know what we are doing. 100%. Nobody should cry about us. Omar is going for his business. As I am talking to you now, I'm buying and selling. Omar is also a buying and selling man. So nobody.
He has bought and sold political parties.
Yes, he's a buying and selling my dad sister. So there is nothing to argue about.
All right then.
Nobody should worry himself. PDP or no PDP. There's nothing can change in Nigeria apart from when Nigeria wake up to restructure this country.
All right then. Got your thoughts too. Thank you. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Mr. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
All right, great to have you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so please, I want to talk about the issue of the drilling of the oil and Zamfara gold.
We didn't talk about that. That was not any comment that we followed on.
But you talk about Zamfara gold now.
It wasn't based on a headline that we were following. Somebody was saying something about it. So I don't want to drive the conversation that way.
Okay, let me talk about David Umahi.
Go ahead, please.
Contesting for the president. Yeah. I just want to let the David Umahi to understand that he just want to go there to wait his money because they will not give him that presidency. They will not give him over or the North.
All right, then. Got your thoughts too. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
Good morning, Annie. Good morning. Greetings.
Good morning.
Yes, to your guest, this is Lawson calling from the beautiful city of Yenegua.
Okay. Lawson, good to have you.
The River State governor should tell us something else. I'm sure there is more to it than what he's saying. David Omaye is a governor like him. David Omaye, people are now crying because he's a big fish. He's the centerpiece when it comes to the Southeast. David Omaye is the centerpiece, and right now is the rallying point. He has a lot of followers. That's why they are crying. You understand? For a governor like him has come out to say, see, this is my reason for defecting. And he comes out and say, no, that is not his reason. How did he know that is not his reason? Because when you look at it, since 1999, the Southeast has been following PDP. Following them, they don't even think of any other party, even the ABGA that was floated, considered as an Igbo party. They didn't follow ABGA. They followed PDP 2 and 2. What have they been giving? Seriously. Even now, they are not even considered. Now that the Southeast is crying, look, we want the presidency. It's about time. PDP is not looking their way. And so he is telling you that is the reason why he's leaving, and you are coming out and say, no, Mr. Is it this day he talks a lot? Is he the spokesman for PDP? Seriously, there are so many other governors. I don't hear other governors making any statement concerning David's defection. He has not. I can't hear the Delta State governor saying it. I can't even hear about that. He said, why is it that each time, and he has an ambition that perhaps maybe Umaye's defection is going to somehow affect his ambition. Maybe that's why he's saying what he's saying. If not, he has no right to say that what the man said is wrong. No, he has no right. That man is a governor like him. So for me, David Umaye has done the right thing. It is politics. People don't understand politics. That is why today the Southeast have remained the way they are, because they stopped playing the politics.
Right,
the man is simply playing politics.
Got your thoughts here. Lawson, thank you very much. Lawson, thank you so much. Hello, Today 95. Okay, lost that connection. This here says, Pastor Ikem Jika says, I stand with Governor Mahi. The Southeast has for 20 years given their all to PDP. Presidential slots is the issue. We have not supported any other party for 20 years. And he marked my words, more governors from the Southeast will leave PDP before the end of 2023. Elections are over by that time now. Annie, for David, it's a welcome development. This is from Obisa. Good morning, Annie. Obidima is sounding politically. Even a blind man will know he's a die-hard PDP member. He's more like Governor Wike. He does not see any good in the APC. I am CR7 from Eagle Island. And another here says, some people have presidential ambition, some vice president in 2023. Which of them is more beneficial to the people of the South? I'm in total support of Governor David, and I believe all that he has said about Governor Wike, that Wike has made PDP to be destabilized among Nigerians. And as a result, many governors may leave PDP. Patriotic Nigerian from Oyibo. Good morning, Annie, Moses, and Musa again. Thomas. And that Thomas. You people make me laugh. Yesterday, Professor Efemini made my day. However, when 2,000 people moved from APC to PDP, Governor Wike will celebrate and jubilate. Just one person that left PDP, Wike and Obidima and Alhaji, are there crying while Ogaima is smiling. Emeka from
Emma is
the only one smiling. No, we're not with. I'm not with you.
I'm not in the same party with Obidima.
Annie, Nigerian government is already doing something about population control by allowing Charles Darwin's theory of natural selection or survival of the fittest to run its full course. Nigeria dying in large numbers daily from issues overlooked by government like insecurity, poverty, poor health care, etc. Annie, if you go to the mortuary, then you would know that population control is going on effectively. For that reason, National Population Commission is no longer spending money to enlighten campaigns. Nigerian rulers can't emphasize on population control because they can't lead by example. Last I checked, Atiku had 26. So what's more? The rich and the poor on their own. This is from DK. He says there's a natural selection going on. That's the way that we're dealing with ours. It's really sad. Almost true. Very sad. And Val, David Umahi betrayed APC that brought him into limelight. Well, I'm not surprised. Well, he said APC, Emmanuel. He has been romancing with APC at night. He has been PDP outside, APC inside. Morning, Annie, and all the analysts in the studio. I'm Adeyinka from Ajip Road, Port Harcourt. About poverty index, my solution. We should change our give me grant mindset to the I can do it value mindset. About Umahi and Wike, don't be surprised. They are pretenders, entertainers on tour, who caught in the bush and come out to the road to cry foul. May we live to see the unfolding events. Annie, let me ask, how does good governance look like? Can an average Nigerian recognize her when he sees her? As a biologist recognizes an organism by its characteristics. Please, Annie, do a second episode program to show us how good governance looks like so we can recognize her. Don't worry, I'll do that. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Annie.
Morning, what's
good
your
morning to everybody. My name is Comrade Patrick from Elele.
Comrade Patrick from Elele, good to have you.
Yeah, Annie, yesterday I wanted to call, but because of I was so hungry, I decided not to call, so I will not spoil the rest of the day. Today, I'm here again. Poverty index, Annie. The solution. I gave a solution sometime that what happened in Mali should be replicated in Nigeria because there is no institution that can make that change currently now because of the political situation in Nigeria. It will never be done.
So what happened in Mali?
Hopefully, yeah, as in the military to take over. Without that, nothing will be done. We will continue to rigmarole around the same solution. Our problem is we give so much theory without practical. Now, the doctor there, I'm not talking about Dr. Bidima, gave an insight of what happened in 1980 something about school to land.
Yes.
Federal government
borrowed. That's Alhaji Nasser.
Yes. Federal government borrowed that ideology and they created NDE. Now, that does not mean, no matter what the federal government does not mean that the states cannot improve. Any patriotic governor like River State can develop without even looking at the federal government because they collect huge amount of money. Now, the cassava processing plant the governor said is building. Over the radio this morning from your sister's station, I heard there is no road to that processing plant. How do you build a processing plant that will not be functional? Since early this year, they said 90% completion. The remaining 10% will it take 20 years to complete it? You see, our problem is like what Alhaji said, in Lagos, we have Agric. It is sponsored by either United Nations and Lagos State, where we have settlements. People go, and that's because we have individuals who can go. I'm a poultry farmer, I'm a poultry farmer. I am ready. Many youth are ready to go back to the farm because there is so much money in farming. In the 80s, we did not do any extra scientific thing to make Nigeria the giant of Africa. It is because agriculture is part of our culture. People farm every day. The problem is we cannot process what our produce we roll out on yearly. It takes nothing more than 1 year to to harness every other agricultural produce in the world, be it beans, or rice, or yam, or cassava. Our problem is we cannot manage that idea. And the people we are bringing up, they are not helping. They only after grabbing wealth and saving for the children that they will never see. It's a crime. Nothing will change until a forceful hand is meted in our...
We got your position then. Thank you very much. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
Annie, good morning.
All right.
Mr. Bright from Remember.
Mr. Bright, thank you.
Yes. The governor's reaction to Mahi's defection. I don't have much to say. I only want the governor to just watch the manner and the extent to which he reacts to every issue. Umahi is a governor like him. Deserves respect. His right is supposed to be allowed. Even if Umahi had even said PDP meted injustice to the Southeast as a fellow governor, because that was one of the issues he raised when APC disqualified Obaseki. He was mounting it. How could the NGF, Governors Forum, not stood up for their own? They didn't defend their own. And then him and Umahi are members of that Governors Forum. So is he defending Umahi now? Is he, giving respect to the status and status of Umahi? And one other thing, the governor, I will advise him. He has said so many things. He talked about PDP, how Riverside was going to deal with PDP. Riverside had all it takes to deal with PDP. He talked about so many things when it involves PDP. He has made some comment that even made him discriminate other people. And in that his statement, he hinted about him being qualified and having the right to vie for presidency or vice presidency. But I want to advise him, if he continues this way, he is battering his image, national image. Not at everything that happens you react, you call for media chat and you react, you attack everybody. You are just bringing yourself before the people that you are a controversial person. And if
it's better to think inwards and find grassroots solutions to our problems. Ari Babalola's opinion is good and great. And in as much as presidency has apologized through the means they prefer best to them, it's highly welcome. And if my governor is playing local politics, he should wait. More governors are defecting soon. Politics is a game of interest. That's from Joe. All right, Joe, we got your thoughts on that. And then this here says, Annie, I've told you people severally that Governor Wike is a bad loser. And as for David that killed Goliath, who has taken the bold step again, maybe doing another damage to the Philistines. Wike be warned. What is that? Okay, David Umahi, he killed the Goliath. Okay.
I'm very sure that it wasn't.
Good morning, Annie man, the guest. What is wrong with Umahi's defection? Why is Wike sober about it? And many people were ravaged by flood and cried for help from local government and states. But Governor Wike kept deaf ear to us. It has come to APC, PDP talking. Why is Wike crying about it? I guess he's saying, don't spoil our chances as a party in the region. We didn't do as terribly as you're claiming that we did. Good morning, Annie, and your good analyst. There's something about Umahi that is causing this uproar. He's one of the best, if not the best governor in Nigeria now. He knows how to manage resources. He has done so much with little resources and has the weight and love of almost the entire Igbo nation at back. Wike knows that he's defecting to APC will jeopardize his vice presidential ambition. George Rilloff, you said that from Elele. Annie, can you imagine how Governor Wike has been moving from one station to another yesterday, all because of Umahi? Annie, is Governor Wike now the spokesperson of PDP? Annie, what's fishy? This one is paining Governor Wike well. Ifeanyi Chukwuwodo, you sent that in. Good morning, all. On Umahi's defection, I think the reason given by Umahi for his defection is not only preposterous but infantile. The last time I checked, Ohaneze, Ndibo, and other social-cultural organizations have been crying of marginalization due to the lopsided appointments of Buhari's administration. This cry never happened under the PDP. So at what time did the APC do better or seem to do better than the PDP? Umahi will be frustrated owing to the lies in which he premised his common detection and the fact that the Ebonyi State NAS PDP caucus have disowned him. Onye Awaji, fine face from Ungo Town, he sent that in. Good morning, Annie and the gentleman in the studio. At times, I wonder how these politicians think. This is a failed permutation. Who told Governor Mahi that APC would leave the likes of Amechi, Fashola, and give him APC flag? Henry from Rumo Masi sent that in.
Last phone call that we can take on the show. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. All right, connection didn't go through. I'll take this call. Text message. Good morning, Annie. The federal government will not apologize to South leaders because they know that we don't love ourselves. All right, B from Rupoku. You can send that on our Facebook page. I'll read it there. Does Wike's vice presidential ambition now make him PDP spokesman? Why is he always expressing bitterness and antagonism if things don't go his way, his own PDP way? Now, wow, this is from Stan. Annie, tell Dr. Obidima that Igbos love themselves. The problem we have is people like Governor Wike. Igbos are not following Umahi. None so sent that in. I'm Enes from Woji. Please tell Obidima to leave Alhaji alone. It's not all Muslims that marry 4 wives. Tinubu has 1 wife, even Fashola. There is a man here from the South. He has 1 wife and 6 children. He drives the keke for living. It's not about religion. Check out those Arab countries. They don't have 16 children. Look, like Obidima is in pain about that Ebonyi state governor has left that party, PDP. Greetings, Annie, and the guest on Governor Mahi's defection. We all know that Governor Mahi was not an independent candidate. We all know that Governor Mahi's name was not on the ballot paper, but that of the PDP. Therefore, Ebonyi State electorate voted for the PDP and only technically voted for Governor Mahi. Elected officers first carry the mandate of their party before that of the people. Hence, to carry the mandate of one party and give it to another is not only mindlessly immoral, but also illegal. Governor Wike should urge his party to go to court and take back the largesse given to the APC. Godwin from Rumigbo, you send that in. And we have Good Luck Jonathan. Could not have said a Southeasterner will succeed him when he knows the presidency is rotated along the north and south, and he's from the south as the southeast. That is misrepresentation, Al-Haji. With all due respect, this is from Mr. Law. In any which case, today is former President Goodluck Jonathan's birthday. So happy birthday to former President Goodluck Jonathan. Happy birthday. On our behalf, have you people still shouting happy birthday? All right. Good day today, FM. Mahi is moved to APC and all of them are still the same. The next governor to move is Abia. Reminding me of something. This is from Samuel. What's that? Talking about penetrating political parties. Annie, please stop bringing up Idima to the statement. He's too biased. James from Abakari. Okay. Which Southeast governor can be compared to a Benue State governor? Is it Abia or Enugu? PDP is finished. Ernest from Woji sent that in. Greetings, Annie, and the nobles and the crew. I foresee danger in 2023 in the major political parties. The drums have started beating, yet people have not started beating, yet people have started crying. This foretells what the future holds for them. Thanks. This is from Calvin. Last text I can take. And even in River State, prominent politicians will leave PDP because of the style of our governor, whose decision single-handedly from contract to judiciary. This is from Madison. We've got to go. It's 11:40. Alhaji Nasir, available what?
Yes. Thank you very much. I think for me, the issue is not so much about Omahi and this thing, but the fallout about our economy and our poverty status. And I want to start by calling the attention of government at all levels, all stakeholders. We should do something about life and family planning because this concerns lives. You can control other things, but when it comes to lives, it does not lend itself to straitjacket control. Therefore, we must plan. We must do everything possible to bring that family and life consciousness to our people so that we can avert a worse problem in future. Right now, if it is possible for our government to muster the political will, we can turn around our economic status. But population is a time bomb.
Alhaji Nasser Olebo, River State Islamic leader, Vice President General, River State Council for Islamic Affairs and veteran journalist. Thank you for coming to the studio this morning.
My pleasure.
This is from QED Mark. It says, morning, Annie and guests. I did propose a model that I think can help fight and reduce poverty in our dear country in the 21st century. One of the peak in my model is to make politics unattractive in Nigeria, and you'll be surprised that 55% of our national problems will be solved. No more excessive bogus packages, no siren, blaring entourage, no fat salaries, no foreign trips on healthcare and education for their children and words. The result will be massive development by key sectors. 45% will be on budget funding and 5% will be on the wheel to articulate the policies. This model will gradually shift us from our poverty capital status. QED Mark. Thank you so much. All right, and then let's get to Dr. Obitima.
Well, I think to get out from the poverty zone, I said we should go back to our foundation with 1963 Constitution. 2, development should be bottom up. Top, bottom, main policy we run this one is there. Now, again, I want to advise our Igbo brothers, if they disconnect in their political movement and aspiration for presidency, disconnect from the South, they will lose it.
Okay. Dr. Obidima JP, journalist, international affairs analyst. Thank you so much, Emmanuel Lindukwe.
I'm not sure that Omahi's movement is disconnecting the Igbo from the South. But well, that's what Dr. Obidima is postulating. I think, for me, this particular period between Omahi and Governor Wike should end, so that Nigerians too will give a sigh of relief. Indeed, what a snake gives must be long. Politicians are people who you cannot rely on. They go to this party, and the next minute they are the other one. The interest is very paramount for them. And so all of them are like that. Why would they be blaming themselves? One such move that is cultural is made by anyone.
We've got to go. Thank you so much, gentlemen. I'll see you again sometime soon. This is where we wrap up on the show. You've been listening to today's quest. You've been listening to today's quest. And coming up is Entertainment Express. Don't touch that dial.
You've been listening to Today's Quest here on Today 95.1.
Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it?
Join us next time, weekdays from 6 to 11 a.m. on Today 95.1.
Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
You got a fetish for my love. Been waiting for a lifetime for you.
Listen to Entertainment Today
every weekday
at 11:30 a.m.